Stop number 9 on the Women's Championship Tour brings us to the southwest of France for the Roxy Pro once again. One of the favourite stops for the best surfers in the world, the best beach breaks. And at the moment we've got Nikki Van Dijk taking on Bronte Macaulay in Heat 5 of round 2. Nikki Van Dijk coming off the back of her first Championship Tour win up against Bronte Macaulay, a rookie on the Championship Tour who has struggled through the season in these second round efforts. Only once has she been passed. They can be fragile in the later half of the year when these competitors really have nothing to lose from the back end. As we see Nikki Van Dijk up here at the moment. Little lip line floater there on the closeout, but it won't be a big score.
It is going to be interesting, you know, and Bronte, her ability, and you know, I feel like it's odd to see her sitting at so far down the ranks. I mean, she has been able to put it together on the qualifying series, so she will be on the tour next year, most likely, unless something very drastic changes. But Nikki's just so consistent, and it's really what it comes down to. She rarely makes mistakes, and that's what got her the win down there in Cascais. You know, is that consistent approach. She's always putting up good numbers.
Well, congrats on the win. We'll see you in round 3.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Strider.
Thank you, Strider. And Bianca feeling quite at home here as we go back to the heat in the water. Nikki Van Dijk up at the moment. But you can just tell that some of that competitive fire is maybe returning for Bianca, but she's kind of cruised her way through her CT appearances this year, Pete, on the side, and she learns languages and is right into her photography as well. So she
got a lot
has
going on.
A lot of interest outside of a competition, so it might be easier for her to focus on some of that stuff.
Yeah, just a 4-point ride for Nikki on that last one. Smaller inside wave, but again, she's kind of surfing outside of priority, so she's trying to pick up those scores quickly, smaller waves.
Here she goes again, without priority, keeping busy. Couple of decent hits, can't ride out that last move though.
All of her focus solely on the Championship Tour and making sure that they're quality events.
Here goes Bronte now though. She doesn't need a lot to get herself into the lead, just a 5.51. Such a strong backhand surfer when she finds form, and that should be a really good wave for the West Aussie competitor.
Just like that, you know, very solid on the backhand as well, but just so compact, rarely makes errors, like doesn't hitch rails, glides through it, gets that upside down approach.
And here is Nikki Van Dijk in response now. Nikki's hanging on to a couple of 4s at the moment.
I think that if you were to look at these two surfers and their consistency, I think that if you're going to add some extra, I think that there needs to be some of the innovation and progression part of the criteria. I know that it's rarely you see Nikki go for aerials, and same with Bronte, but I mean, when you're this good staying on the face, that it makes it a little bit more challenging. But I think that that's something that you could maybe push a little bit further, is getting that little looser, that little rawer feel.
Our competitors getting busy out here with this onshore flow, just picking up and sending us a few more waves. It's building swell. Nikki on the backhand there, couple of hits.
And she's pretty open with her feelings, and she knows how to articulate it very well as well, you know, so it makes it kind of nice and refreshing to hear it.
Here we go, Nikki Van Dijk up. She's chasing a score to get herself into the lead. Needs a 4.51. Just working this wave over, trying to find that major section. Don't know if she really got there.
I don't think so either. Again, it's just those high impactful turns, and you know, she's placing them, putting them, you know, in the right spot, but there's no zest, and you can't, when you don't have that zest going, the judges notice it, and you know, it's going to unfold in the numbers.
Well, let's see what Bronte can do with this one. Smooth start, then finds a nice little pocket to dig into, and combos up 3 pretty nice moves and has one more for us on the end here. 3.5 minutes to go.
Another wave with pace. You know, it's going to better the 3.33. You know, it's not going to exceed the good mark, but it's going to better her situation. Take a look at the replay here. Again, the floater sets it up. You know, missed that section unfortunately, but had a clean finish, just redirects. You know, I would say that this is going to be a number probably not even going to go into our top 2. And the wave choice here, pretty much smaller wave, but saw that it had the potential to string a bunch of maneuvers together, and which she does. Feeling pretty confident that she'll replace the 3.33, but that angle there almost kind of takes away from the impact that we saw from the more front angle. This is from up top, which again takes away from the verticalness of the wave and actually where she puts her board, because you know, 2 of those turns were fairly vertical. There we go. Like, again, the technique, right? Top to bottom. She's not chasing the sections at all, so that's combinations of maneuvers there. But nothing major, nothing huge there. So again, it's going to suppress the score a little bit.
In heat 5, Bronte's up again. This time has a little bit more wall to work with. She throws that board vert, but that's all she's going to get out of it. It's back to the takeoff zone. Van Dijk gets a shot at another left here. Throwing a bit more water, but just the 2 sections on offer. A minute and a half to go. Again, Nikki Van Dijk, she hasn't really been able to capitalise on her last few rides. Meanwhile, Bronte just a little more selective. Hasn't had to go all out, but just keeps building her heat score total, just pushing that requirement a little higher. And a 6.3 just didn't look like that number, did it? Just under 20 seconds to go. Bronte Macaulay has priority. She's going to keep Nikki Van Dijk off this one. And it's a better looking wall. She drives up into the lip. First section, she connects pretty well, but doesn't find much else. This one coming to a close, just 5 seconds remaining. And Nikki Van Dijk has gone from winning a championship tour event to bowing out in the second round here at stop number 9.
Ouch.